And in my third year as a palace maid, I met a little girl with vicious female side character floating in glittery red letters right above her forehead. I thought, how vicious could a 7-year-old be? Until I saw her push down a senior maid, swipe her claws at a eunuch cat, and hiss curses at the head governess. Then I realized she was absolutely right. I had wanted to do all of that myself for a long time. This wasn't a vicious side character. She was my angel baby. Let me rewind. This is the cat palace. Everyone here is a humanoid cat. Long legs, fluffy tails, ears that twitch when they're annoyed, whiskers that tremble when they're lying. The palace itself is ridiculous. Bright, bright, bright. Coral pink pillars wrapped in gold ribbon, mint green roofs that shine like candy, lanterns like giant glowing fish that float in the air. Everything smells like sun and peach tea. In my first year as a palace maid, I met the emperor and empress. Both snow leopards, majestic cold. I immediately crossed off the option of becoming a favored concubine. I'm a plain little calico street cat with uneven patches. Unless the dynasty was actually collapsing, they would never pick me. It would look like a bad omen. In my second year, I crossed off becoming a senior governess. My mentor, Aunt Jo, a stern tabby who taught me how to fold sleeves and survive gossip, lost in the palace struggle. She went into the punishment hall standing and came out lying down. I had to beg someone to buy her a cheap wooden box to bury her. And so there was only one path left: endure until age 25 and leave the palace. But even that was hard. Low-ranking maids didn't even get a hot bowl of fish soup. I suspected I wouldn't make it to 25. Until my third year. Turning point. I met the 6th princess. Above her fluffy white head, with one gray ear, for glowing words, vicious female supporting character. My golden finger. 3 years late, but it finally arrived. I immediately found a way to transfer to Frosting Palace, where the 6th princess lived. It was the palest, loneliest palace. Light blue tiles, but the lanterns were always unlit. On my first day, the 6th princess hit someone. A maid was dragged out, nose bleeding, ears flat. The head steward looked between me and another new maid. I lowered my head and chanted in my heart, "Don't see me, don't see me." "Cho Shuang, you go clean up," he said to the other girl. Cho Shuang shot me a glare. I pretended not to see. If she hadn't been chosen, she'd be happy too. Not long after, there was a clatter and a scream. "Get out. All of you get out." Cho Shuang was kicked out, red-faced. "Then you. Go inside." It was my turn. I tiptoed in. The inner chamber was a disaster. Curio shelves knocked over, porcelain shattered across the floor. And in the middle, the 6th princess, tiny, humanoid but kitten small, tail puffed up twice its size, crouching and hugging a broken pink jade rabbit. She was sobbing so hard her whiskers shook. The words above her head glowed brighter. I waited until she cried herself to sleep. Awake, she was all claws. Asleep, she was just a kitten. Her little pink nose was red, her cheeks smushed. I gently took the rabbit from her arms. I didn't dare carry her to the bed and wake her. Any cat parent knows waking is instant, so I just pulled a blanket over her where she lay. I picked up the rabbit pieces and went to find Anton, the day governess. Her face darkened when she saw it. This is the princess's favorite. It was left by Consort E, her mother. She was sent to the cold palace and died there when the princess was still very small. This rabbit is one of the only things left. If we send it to the repair workshop, it'll take forever, she said. They fix the emperor's things first. The 6th princess's rabbit? They'll forget it. I looked at the fragments. Before I transmigrated, I was a craftswoman. I made clay figurines and doll clothes for videos. And if I can get some fish glue, I can try. Anton stared, then brought me a box of fish glue. If you can't fix it, you don't need to stay in Frosting Palace. I fixed it. Bamboo sticks, glue, holding my breath. I was so focused I didn't hear her wake up. "You're making me sleep on the floor," a creepy little voice said behind me. I jumped. She stood there, tail swishing, ears flat, like the boss kitten in a horror movie. I held out the rabbit. 6th princess fixed. She took it, eyes huge. A smile started, then she forced it down. "Who allowed you to touch my rabbit?" "Little brat. I was planning to make a protective cover for it like a little palace lantern so it never breaks again. But if you don't allow me to touch it, go make it. Quickly." She shoved it back into my hands, trying to look cold, but her tail was wagging. So I made her a little nest. A round wooden base, soft cotton and silk, and a gauze dome like a lantern over the rabbit. While I made it, she circled me. I pretended I couldn't find a bamboo stick. She huffed, found it in 2 seconds, and slammed it into my paw. Here. You can't even find this. Your Highness has such sharp eyes, I said seriously. She lifted her chin, super proud, but her ears turned bright pink. I got it. She was rarely praised. She wanted to be nice, but didn't know how. That night, the palace woke up screaming again. Get out. I told you to get out. That was the night shift. Aunt Song, her wet nurse, a huge, severe Persian cat whose rank was higher than Aunt Anne's. She was left by Consort E. Nobody could touch her. Aunt Anne and I stood outside in our coats, listening to the princess cry in cycles, scream, noise, silence, scream. Her hives flared every night. Aunt Song force-fed her bitter medicine that made her throw up and pee all night, so she never slept. No wonder she was so pale and had no energy for the Royal Academy. Next morning, she refused to get up, refused to eat. Plain congee, pickles. Who would want that? I whispered, Princess, eat well, and I'll carve you a little rabbit out of candle wax. She sneered. I don't want it. I carved beautifully. I took a candle and a little knife and started sculpting. The wax slowly became a rabbit. She stared, stunned, spoon frozen halfway to her mouth, and ate without complaining while watching me. When I finished, she said disdainfully, You dare give me a candle? This is crude. I only ask you to look. You used the candles from MY Palace. It's mine. She snatched it and stormed off to school. At noon, she came back furious, smashing everything. I found out why. At the academy, she'd brought her candle rabbit. The emperor's adopted daughter, Princess Jianan, a snow-white ragdoll, literal female lead glowing above her head, raised by the empress, thought it was cute. The second prince, a smug orange tabby with malicious supporting male above his head, tried to snatch the sixth princess's rabbit to show Jianan. The sixth princess would rather smash her own rabbit than give it away. The crown prince, a silver Maine Coon with second male lead over his head, punished her, said she was petty, quibbling over every ounce. In the following days, I made her dozens. Candle rabbits, clay rabbits, cloth rabbits. Why? Anton asked. Because when you have one, you're scared to lose it. When you have 50, you can share. She woke up surrounded by rabbits and cried. Then she touched each one. Am I really that petty? She whispered. No one in the palace is more generous than you, Anton said quickly. She looked at me. Swan, what do you think? Princess, the rabbits are yours. You decide. The way you protect your things is brave. Those who can't take advantage of you will say you're bad. Don't listen to them. She gave a rabbit to every maid. Even to me. We made the 12 zodiac animals after that. Little tigers, chicks, piglets in bright felt, lemon yellow, cherry red, turquoise. We were going to hang them by her bed, but we knew Aunt Song would never allow it. Her rules were, sleep straight, paws folded, no toys. So, I made a plan. The third princess, a friendly tiger-striped tabby who actually liked the sixth princess, came over. And Princess Jianan came too, curious. And I told them half of The Little Mermaid, then said whoever fell asleep first would hear the ending tomorrow. Once they were asleep, I moved them to the inner room. Aunt Song came in with medicine, as usual. She threw off the sixth princess's blanket and tried to pin her down with 3 other maids. Who dares? The third princess's wet nurse screamed from the inner room, having seen everything. That night, the emperor came. The empress came. Aunt and ripped open the quilt, and a cloud of willow fluff, willow catkins, burst out. The sixth princess was allergic. Aunt Song had been stuffing them in her bedding to keep her sick and dependent. Aunt Song was dragged away. That night, for the first time in years, Frosting Palace was quiet. I hung all the bright zodiac dolls around the princess's canopy. Mint bunnies, tangerine tigers, bubblegum pink piglets. It looked like a little carnival. She asked me that night, curled under her new colorful blankets, Swan, why did you choose me? The empress wanted you. Consort Li wanted you. The crown prince wanted you. For Jianan. You could have been a consort. Why me? I pinched her soft cheek. Because neither of us was ever expected to be anything. In the stories, the heroines are all carefully designed. Beautiful names, beautiful fates. We were just mud splatters. And when I saw another mud splatter, I thought, I want to raise her well. Like raising the wild, feral version of myself. She stared at the canopy, eyes shiny. Then she whispered, "My mother called me Ro Bao. Meek Bun. You can call me Ro Bao too." I kissed her forehead. Her ears twitched so hard. From then on, she became the story queen of the academy. She told my stories, shared heart-shaped fried eggs and boba milk tea I made in our new little kitchen, and finally found her little group. The glowing words above her head got dimmer and dimmer until one day, they disappeared completely. Now she was just herself. Just Ro Bao. Not defined by anyone. And when I turned 25 and finally left the palace, she held my hand under the brightest starry sky in the imperial garden, full of floating lanternfish, and said, "Will we meet again?" I smiled, my tail curling around hers. "Of course. Because I'm your sister. Your eternal sister."